Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Monday, July 17th, and the moon is in Cancer. In fact, a little bit later today, I think around 2:30, I believe, we're having a new moon in Cancer. This new moon is the start of a lunation cycle, the cycle between the sun and the moon, in the sign that's ruled by the moon, Cancer. And so it's a deeply sensitive and feeling new moon. Cancer is a sign that is learning about feelings. It's the first water sign. It's the first time we encounter the water element in the zodiac. And it's not... a lot of times Cancers are considered moody and, changeable and all of that. And it's true, but it's true because it can be overwhelming. The feelings can be overwhelming, and you need time to step back from what you're experiencing, the feelings you're experiencing, and get some perspective. And oftentimes that perspective comes by getting back in your shell or getting into a protective stance. So you have time to figure out what are these waves of feelings and waves of emotions coming at you. In fact, Cancer is connected with where the sea meets the land, where we first crawled onto the land to become land dwellers. I was watching a I don't know if it was PBS or if it was National Geographic, called The Whale Detective. And back in 2014, these two people on a kayak were squashed by a whale who breached and ended up sort of like falling on them. And miraculously not killing them. And so there's this show about the guy. It was a woman and a man, and the guy couldn't get it out of his mind. He couldn't understand who this whale was, why it happened, how they survived in something that they probably shouldn't have survived. So it was a very interesting story, but through the process, this gentleman starts to have a relationship with the humpback whales, in that an understanding of and seeing who these whales were and how they were in nature and how they were towards humans and the history of it all. And I couldn't help but get the sense that these whales are so much smarter than we are. And there's been a lot of things happening with sea life attacking people and the like. And a lot of that has to do with toxins in the water and algae blooms and, them being in a milieu that causes them to, be not right. And their environment is not right because it's so toxic. And who makes that environment toxic? We do. And there are some things natural things that also make it toxic, and there's natural cycles. It's not all us. As much as we'd like to think we take responsibility for everything, some of it is natural cycles, and some of it is the earth trying to balance itself through the assaults that we have perpetrated upon her. So it's a combination of things, but it comes down to relationship. And today we have a new moon in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn and squaring its own nodes, and those nodes will be shifting into the next set of signs, which is the North Node in Aries, which is about action. It's about courage. It's about being willing to go to where we haven't gone before. And the South Node is Libra. It's going to be about renegotiating our relationships, and not just with each other, and not just with countries, but with the Earth herself. And so it's time to renegotiate with the Earth. And negotiation really is a Libra thing. And what we need with negotiation is a willingness to open our ears and listen. And so we need to listen to the Earth. And the Earth will listen to us, because the Earth does that. The Earth will respond in that way. Just like the whales will respond in that way. So if you haven't seen it, it's called The Whale Detective. And I found it it was a great show and a great way to spend the dark of the moon in Cancer, with Neptune trining it, because Neptune rules the oceans. So this new moon has a trine from oceanic Neptune, an opposition to power, sometimes hungry, often hungry Pluto, a sextile to Uranus and Taurus, new ways of relating to the Earth, and a square to Eris. And Eris is the revolutionary, and Eris is the energy of the feminine, willing to stand up to the status quo and make herself be felt, utilizing the interactions of people, utilizing our social fabric. We also have a Venus retrograde cycle coming up that changes the culture every 8 years. 8 years ago, Donald Trump came down the escalator and we had a whole new social contract, did we not? Now that's going to happen again, not him coming down the escalator, but Venus, the cycle of Venus. And things will change for him, and things will change for us. And this cycle of Venus in Leo is asking us to both reevaluate how we express ourselves, reevaluate our values around what's important in our Leo heart. So we're at a evolutionary crossroads, guys, and that's what's going on. So what's happening here? Well, we did a little cleanup yesterday. That's what this is. That big pile, just stuff around, some overgrowth, just trying to tidy things up before the rains came. And we were very, very lucky. We had quite a bit of rain, but nothing destructive here in southeastern Massachusetts where I live. That's not true of other places. So we give all our thoughts and send energy, and if you can, send help to these people who've suffered through some of these catastrophic floods and weather. But this is the new normal, and we're going to have to figure out how to navigate this more extreme. It's interesting how we're at extremes and nature's at extremes. I wonder, people. Yeah, as above, so below, as within, so without. Find the peace within your own heart, and you will bring peace to the world. I'm sure Jesus said that, although I'm not really all that up on the Jesus stuff. But those are my thoughts for the day. And let's see, is anything blooming? The grass is getting high. Lots of birds out today. Lots of tweeting. But now everything looks good here. And Charlie? I saw Charlie a bit ago. Charlie? Where are you, buddy? He'll come up. He's probably waiting at the door because he's hungry. Oh, these are coming. These are starting to pop even a little bit more. You'll see this every... Oh, there you are, honey. I knew he'd come. I have to feed him. So he's pretty obedient when he hasn't been fed yet. You ready to eat? Meow. Did you hear him? Meow, meow. He's ready. He's a very vocal cat, Charlie is. All right, let's go, Charlie. All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful day and enjoy this new moon. It's a good time to, you know, have it. The new moon is all about intention. What's your intention for this new moon? What is your sense of home, Cancer, on this new moon? And how are you going to love it? All right, guys, take care. Much love. Talk to you tomorrow.